Hey y'all, what's going on? My name is Wande. I'm an artist, I'm a rapper, and right now I'm based in Atlanta, but I'm from Texas, and even more so, I'm from Nigeria.
My name's Taylor. My artist name is Itstaylormade.
My name is V Rose. Everybody calls me V.
My name's CASS. Stage name CASS as well. I'm an artist, producer, songwriter from New Zealand. I was born in Zimbabwe, but I'm in New Zealand now.
I'm a singer-songwriter. I feel like I'm more of a songwriter than I am an artist, but I do both. I'm from Ohio.
I'm also a singer-songwriter, artist, and I'm from California.
And so, yeah, I hope y'all have a lot of fun listening to this convo today. All right, so hello everybody, welcome. I'm so glad to have all of y'all here today. Welcome to #Win Radio. And it's lit because basically this is just a time to get to talk to you as a normal person, and just kind of get to know what you're going through, get to know what you've learned in life in general, and just kind of share some tips with other people so that way they can grow as well. And recently I dropped my album called Exit, and Exit was just kind of highlighting how on this journey of life, you're not always going to be on the highway, just kind of like when you drive, you take some exits, but those exits actually end up being new memories, new lessons in your destination. And so one thing I want to highlight here is just what exits have you taken in your life, what turns that you take that you didn't really anticipate taking but ended up being a beautiful part of your story and a beautiful part of your journey. But yeah, to start off, I wanted to ask y'all, we're in quarantine season, so we got a little bit more free time in our lives. So what have y'all been listening to? What's on your playlist as of now? So whoever wants to pop it off can start sharing.
I have been listening, I don't know if y'all have heard of the song called Baby Mama by Brandy and Chance the Rapper. It's so fire. Yeah, it's new. It's so fire. That's one of my favorite songs right now. And then other than that, Taylor Parks. Even though her project is a year old, but it's just so good. It's so inspiring.
I've been vibing Victoria Monet, her new stuff. And Chloe and Halle, their new songs are bought. They released a few days ago or a week ago. It's dope. Let's go do it. It's fire.
Yeah,
yeah, it's fire.
Hey. I've been listening to, of course, Wande, your new stuff, and Kehlani just dropped a new album, and I love her writing is amazing. She's from the Bay, which is where I'm from, so I feel like I really relate to her style, and of course everything she does is just amazing writer. So
I love it. That's kind of cool though. Y'all have all been listening to women, so I see it. Women out here, women making music. Mm-hmm. It's very fire. But I also wanted to ask us another cool question about what have y'all been doing with your time here in quarantine? What have you been doing to keep yourself busy, being productive?
I feel like I'm always doing different things. I'm always writing. I'm always working on music. I'm working on 3 different projects musically, and then doing features and stuff. I kind of just wake up and I'm what do I feel like doing today? And then I also design all of my own merch and clothes and stuff for other people. So then I'll be doing graphics, or maybe I want to create a motion graphic or something. It really just depends. I made a deal with myself. I'm just going to do what I feel like doing. Because if I try to force myself to do something, I'll just get stuck all day trying to do it. And it's not fun. So I'm basically what do I feel like doing today? And then I'll just hop into that. Unless I have to get something done. But right now, it seems like everybody's chilling. Nobody's stressing me. So I'm kind of just enjoying that, getting to do what I feel like doing. So
that's fire. And I think a lot of people don't even know that you be doing graphics. I remember when I was oh, you just be slightly just make your own stuff. So
yeah, I don't really tell people because I don't do it for everybody because I don't have time. I really just do it for myself and my friends, because then I'll feel okay, you can have a change because you're my friend. But regular clients, I just don't think I have it in me. And I don't have to do that. So I'm I'm not doing that. So I keep it low key. Yeah.
Cass, do you want to share what you've been up to in quarantine?
Yeah. I'm just finishing my new album. So recording and mixing. And also I've been engineering, mixing for other people as well, which has been really dope. Just trying to grow that. And, but yeah, on the horizon. So like hearing your album one day, I was like, yeah, let's go. Like, I'm pumped. Okay. Yeah.
Lit. Taylor, what you been up to in quarantine?
I just been writing, y'all. Like, and what's crazy is I've been like the most inspired I've probably ever been in my life since all this stuff started going down. And I think it's just because like Dee was saying, there's no pressure right now. Like everyone's kind of just chilling. So I think I get into my head sometimes when I like have to get stuff done by like a deadline or something like that. And so it like makes me not creative. Like I don't know what it is, but I struggle. So I've been writing a lot, like so many records I've been mixing, trying to learn to play the guitar, which might I add is so hard. I don't understand how people do it.
It takes a long time. You just have to keep doing it. Yeah.
I'm like, my fingers are so not strong. They're like shaking and stuff. So that's what I've been doing.
Stick with it.
Yeah, it's definitely super fire. I've been like into like doing covers lately of people's songs, and so like I think it's cool like seeing how other people's brains approach a song. And so like it's definitely super dope just like listening to people. I've been intaking a lot of music lately and being like, what do people do who don't think the way I think? Because like I think it's just really fire in general. All right, so now we're going to kind of get into more of the deeper conversations. So how I outlined earlier how like exit was about how every exit is an entrance, and like in general, sometimes in life, God takes you out of one area to bring you into the next phase of where he wants you to be. So I kind of wanted to break this question up into two parts, in life and then in your career field. So in your career field as well as life, what is the biggest exit that you've taken and that you feel that God has brought you into something greater?
So both at this, like you want to know both?
Yeah, so answer one for like your just general you as a person, the biggest exit and leap of faith that you've taken that ended up bringing you into a bigger calling of your life. And then in your career field, what's the biggest leap that you've taken that's brought you into a bigger calling for your life?
Okay, I guess I can start. The one thing that jumped out to me life-wise, it kind of was like both. It kind of coincides with my career, but it was really like a life choice. When I was 17, well, I started college, like right out of high school. I graduated early, so around like 16, 17. And my parents, like I was living with my dad at the time, he wanted me to go to school. And like my dad wasn't like really that involved in my life. So he was just kind of like trying to help guide me. He didn't even know I could sing. So like I moved in with him like the year before. He didn't know I could sing. And I had all of these people trying to sign me to record deals like locally. And I had a bunch of stuff going on in my life. And so I was going to school to appease him, but I was like, this isn't even what I want to do with my life. Like, because I had known since I was 6, I was going to be a singer. I was going to travel the world, make music, tell people about Jesus. Like that was always my heart. And so I remember I took a semester off of school to pursue music full time. And that was like super scary because I felt like, dang, like my parents are going to be super like disappointed in me. They're not going to understand. But like I knew God was telling me to do this. And so I was also working full time at night, like at the airport. So I would work all night and then I would go to school and I had like no time to go to the studio. And so I was like, I'm going to take a semester off, finish my album, and then I'll go back to school. Like I'll shop it for a deal or whatever, and I'll go back to school if nothing works out. And so like, because I did that, like my parents definitely didn't understand. They weren't rocking with it. Like, you know, like any parent would. And it was at the end of that semester, I got my first record deal and I had finished that album. And because I had the album done, like they were able to listen to it, you know, and that's what made them want to sign me. And that was with Clear Sight. So that was like my first, and like, I literally started traveling the world after that. Like overnight, I went from like not even having anywhere to live to like, now I'm like on planes and like, it was crazy. Like it was wild, but I was like, man, that was so scary. Like I had to listen to God's voice and kind of tune out even my parents or like other people who are like, oh, don't do that. You know, you need to go to school, whatever. I'm definitely for education, but I'm also like, God's voice is like, should be more prominent in your life than anyone else's. And so I put that to the test. That was scary, but it worked out. You know, I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't do that, I don't think so.
Big facts. That's lit. Thanks for sharing that story.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Taylor or Cass, do any of y'all want to share?
Mine's kind of like the same as V's. Like, they both kind of coincide with one another. So I think this was in like 2016, maybe. So prior to that, I was working with like a group of people, and they were like developing my sound, helping me like, you know, be an artist. I hadn't even really tapped into songwriting yet, but they were just helping me like develop my sound and all that stuff. And then I don't know what happened. It was just like everyone just became so uninterested. And I kind of was like in this phase of my life where, you know, those seasons of your life where God's just like removing people from your life, like left and right. And it's like, it's so hard sometimes because you really are like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Like, I thought this person was supposed to be down for me. Like, I thought this person loved me, XYZ. And that was kind of happening everywhere, like not even just with my music, but like my friendships, like in college and everything like that. So I was in that season. And then also like these people that I was working with, nothing happened, nothing blew up where it was like, okay, we're not working with you anymore. It was just like people would just kind of put me on the back burner, which was fine because everyone was like pursuing their own stuff. And like I was really happy for them. But I got kind of pushed into the background, and then I think I took like a whole year off of music. Like I didn't do anything. And then I just kind of like started in my heart to like go learn how to do this stuff by yourself. Cause like I can teach you these things if you just like try, but you have to be willing, you know? So I just put my head down, like studied everything. I learned how to mix. I like started writing, even though like the stuff that I was writing was so bad at first, but I started. And just like learning how to run the board and all of those things, and then like developing my sound and stuff. So it was just this whole process. And like when I look at it in hindsight, it's just crazy because I'm like, I'm where I am now, and like God's the only person that I can give glory to. You know what I mean? Like there's no one else that could say that they helped me get here. And I just think that's like so cool. It reminds me of like David in the Bible, where God told him, or not God, but they basically anointed him to be king, but then he had to go back to the field. And I was like, okay, that's how I felt. I was like, okay, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing music, but now I'm like in this season where no one's messing with me. I don't have anyone to help me with anything. And I felt like God just kind of like refined me in that season and strengthened my gifts and cultivated everything. So it was really cool, really crazy. I definitely thought for a second, I was like, okay, well, that's it. Like, guess I'm not doing music because no one was rocking with me, and I didn't understand why, but God changed everything. So it was like really cool. It's a cool story.
That's super. Thanks for sharing. I think I definitely can relate to that because right before, you know, this reach thing worked out, I was like, okay, God, I know I'm supposed to do this, but I don't know what's happening because it doesn't look like. But yeah, so definitely trusting God is definitely a big key in life. Like both of y'all even shared that, like you have to hear God's voice over everything. And sometimes even how we shared, like sometimes even over your parents. Your parents may want the best for you, but sometimes it's like, I really know that God's telling me to do this, and I may look crazy, but I really feel like this is what God's telling me to do. And so it's super fire. Cass, do you have a story you want to share?
Yeah, sure. It's actually funny. Like it's similar to both of V and Taylor's story in a way. We moved to New Zealand when I was young, and then grew up here, went to school here. And then during school, I just felt drawn to music, drawn to like production. Now, one day you might relate, I'm African. Like, so my parents, music is like, it's not an option. It's like you either become a doctor or you do engineering or like anything that makes money, law, you don't do music. Like music is not even a conversation. So I'm like trying to get my parents to let me study and live in the same house with them. You know what I mean? That was just the grace of God. But I did a music degree. And then it was after that, it was a 4-year course after that where I was like, okay, I think I'm going to work in studios. Like I want to, intern or something, or somehow get my way in the game. And I felt God speak to me, and he was like, I want you to do a year off school at my church. And I was just like, I don't know about that. Like I just did 4 years of not making any money. Like I want to get a job, do something. But I did that. So I did a year of ministry school, and it was the worst year of my life, just being honest. It was I say it's the best year and worst year, because it was the worst because it was just like, it's hard, being an intern at a church, really. But it was the best year because I grew a lot. And it was during that where God was like, I want you to be an artist. So before that, prior to that, I wanted to be a producer and be in studios. But during that's when God was like, actually, I called you for the music industry. And it was, I need you to make an album and not do, it's a 3-year course. It was like, don't do second year. You just, after first year, make an album in your bedroom and like watch me do what I do. So I was like, okay. So I did that. I made my first album, Genesis, in my bedroom. And I released it in January the following year. Like no plan, no team, nothing. Just like was a step of faith. Like God gave me a word. I look crazy to a lot of people, even in my church and friends and family, but I did it. And within 24 hours of it coming out, it was #1 here in New Zealand. And then from that moment till today, it's just been God just like opening doors. Like I have a team now, but honestly, a lot of, if not all my opportunities, I just get emails. Like it's completely the grace of God. So yeah, it was like an exit, but it was an entrance into something awesome. So yeah.
That's super dope. Well, thank you everybody for sharing. I think it's just super crazy when you look at life, like when you reflect back and you're like, wow, like in that season, in that moment, it seemed like everything was going wrong, or it didn't seem like what I would have planned or what I would have structured for my life. But it kind of just shows us and reveals to us how like God's ways and his plans are way above what we can think or comprehend. And he's always working things out for our good. And like, I think it's just beautiful seeing too, how like all of us, how we just love the Lord. And so it's just like, okay, God, we gonna see where this goes. And it's kind of just like evidence, like you have 3 people showing each time. When you trust God, it ended up with the best option. And so I feel like, I hope that can just be even a testament to people who are watching, who are maybe scared to like, trust in what God's telling them to do. But like, it's like, hey, we have testimonies right here, just like we have in the Bible. Here's some people here in real life, in real time, who trusted God. It was scary, but he always comes through like he says he will. So I think that's super fire to see.